Welcome to the new party. I'm Great
But
Morris.
it's dumb that we live in. Hey, we just get eaten by an alligator or a snake or something.
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If the snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison. How to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%. Okay? Not a good thing.
We're offering up our National Guard and other folks in Florida to be deputized to be immigration judges. We're working with the Department of Justice for the approvals. I'm sure Pam will approve. But then I'll have a National Guard judge advocate here. Someone has a notice to appear. Biden would tell them to come back in 3 years and appear. Now you'll be able to appear in like a day or two, so they're not going to be detained, hopefully, for all that long. We'll have people here in this facility that can make, it's a bureaucracy. The president's got to deal with the bureaucracy. Now, that Supreme Court ruling was good because that's going to allow him to be able to exercise Article 2 the way founders intended, but you still have bureaucracy. So we want to cut through that so that we have an efficient operation between Florida and DHS to get the removal of these illegals done. This is we're offering up our National Guard and other folks in Florida to be deputized to be immigration judges. We're working with the Department of Justice for the approvals. I'm sure Pam will approve. But then I'll have a National Guard judge advocate here. Someone has a notice to.
Viewers at home should note that this is air-conditioned facility, so if any of the news claims are keeping them out in the hot, humid South Florida, that is wrong. It's probably 62 degrees here,
To be honest.
or 72.
Hey, Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here, that son of a bitch.
I think our viewers at home.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Great Morris.
What's up? I'm Ethan.
I'm Kamal.
And I'm Enzo.
And tonight on the new party, we have a very special guest, Ethan. Ethan is going to be on the Un-F America tour. We had a nice dialogue before. So let everybody know what the Un-F America tour is, Ethan, and where the next stop's going to be.
Right. So, hey everyone, like the host said, I'm Ethan and I'm with Unfuck America. So essentially what Unfuck America is the left does not have a Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA, every conservative is going to agree, is an incredibly effective organization. If you like them or dislike them, however you feel, you cannot deny that they are effective at what they do. And that is turn young people into conservatives. And the left, what do they have in counter to that? Before Unfuck America, literally nothing. And so I've joined up with them, and we are going to Tampa, Florida on July 12th. We're going to be going to the Turning Point event and I'll be having interviews, challenging people at the event. But after that, we're going to be renting out a venue and having a debate night against MAGA content creators. We're going to be starring Destiny or Stephen Bunnell, however you know him. He's an incredible left-wing debater. And yeah, I'm really excited to be there. Destiny will be there along with me and other content creators. Will be debating MAGA influencers. So yeah, I'm really hyped for that.
Oh man, y'all didn't get Enzo. You should have had him. I'm just kidding. Enzo, he
I
could
mean,
bring
You
a
know when
Enzo,
y'all
birthday
come up
on this
north.
show.
if you're game, man, I'd love to invite
Hey,
you.
when you guys come up north, I'll definitely stop by.
Yeah, I got you.
I heard they were gonna do one in NYU or whatever before the whole breakup happened with Dean and Parker, and I was hyped for that. I heard
Yeah,
the rumors about that. I wanted to see that.
I joined after the breakup thing happened, so the rumors before and
Yeah.
after, I'm not sure. But I want to also say that if you want to get tickets to go see the events, you can go to unfuckamerica.com, unfuckamericatour.com. I apologize. And there's an events page, and you can get tickets. I think they're currently like $5 right now. So if you're in the Tampa
Oh
area, I would
wow.
love to have you over there.
Well, definitely go check it out, guys. It'll be a good event. I might come check it out. That sounds pretty interesting. We will be at Turning Point that Friday. Gray Mars, myself, and 85 Slim, for those of you that are fans of us, we'll be walking around getting interviews. I'll have my MAGA hat. Hopefully, I won't get beat up, but I'll be out there. But, anyways, guys, so our first topic of the night is about Alcatraz, or Alligator Alcatraz. And so, Gray, we are Floridians. What is your thoughts? I showed you guys lots of clips. I wanted to show you guys what the facility looked like. Do you think this is a waste of American dollars, or do you think this is needed?
First, y'all just talked about Tampa. I have my Bucks jacket on. I am a Tampa Bay resident. And me and Ron DeSantis actually went to the exact same high school. So we're from the exact same area. I think it's crazy. I know they try to put prisons in a place like where a person can't escape. But I think just like using the wildlife. I saw AI pictures where they had the alligators with the ice hats on. I thought that was a little extreme, but Trump is a showman. He's going to give you a show. So I feel like it's more of an attention thing. Like it's like, okay, how can we get people to talk about this? Oh, you know what? Alligators. We're going to put it by alligators, and then everybody's going to talk about it.
Exactly. I mean, I have mixed feelings on it, and I'll give my opinion at the end. Enzo, what's your thoughts? You're kind of a Floridian yourself. Is this needed?
Yeah, so like you said, I have mixed feelings about it too. But at the end of the day, I think it's kind of awesome in a way. I mean, naming it Alligator Alcatraz is pretty crazy. And then the AI pictures with the ice hats on it's pretty fucking hilarious to me. And I just realistically, I heard about it like 2 weeks ago where they were like talking about it. Then they got funding for it. And 8 days later, here we are. We have a fucking detention center. I'm sorry. We have a detention center set up in the Everglades that's pretty much you can't get there unless it's a one way in on the road and then the airstrip. Like it's not really needed. I will say that, but with what's happening going on with certain Democrats showing up to ICE facilities trying to budge their way in, who really wants to go out into the Everglades? This is coming from somebody who used to live in the Everglades, or not in the Everglades, lived in Florida. You just go fishing into the Everglades. It's scary out there. Like you're in the middle of nowhere, and this is 60 miles out from civilization. They probably don't even have cell service out there. So they're probably going to be bugging. That's what I'm looking at now is you don't have the crazy Democrats trying to break in there and try to get these people out because they say it's inhumane. I mean, we've seen the inside of it. It looks pretty standard to me. So we'll see what they do with it. If Ron DeSantis does exactly what they're saying about it and it expedites getting people out by deputizing the National Guard, I don't have a problem with that because they're not going to sit there that long. So we'll see what happens.
Ethan, what's your thoughts? Is this a waste of American dollars, or is this needed?
Is it a waste or is it needed? To that, I don't know how many ICE detention centers Florida currently has. Um, I'll say I like the idea of having strong borders. I do like the idea of enforcing, our border laws, right? And maybe some people give me flack for that, but at the end of the day, we do need to have enforcement of that. However, the question that I would really like to ask is this the kind of rhetoric that we want to be pushing, right? In the sense of just jokingly talking about rounding up people with like alligators with the ice hats, right? Like because these people that we're putting in these detention centers, they're still people, right? It's kind of making me think about like when we had those videos, those ASMR videos before of like people in chains, right? This is incredibly dehumanizing, and this coming from the United States government is disgusting. This is the kind of precedent that we're trying to set when we're the most powerful nation in the world, when we want to dehumanize these people who have real families, who have real backgrounds. Is it needed? Maybe. I don't know. I need to do more research into it. But is that kind of message needed? Absolutely not. It's disgusting.
There's 4 ICE facilities to answer that question. One in Miami-Dade, one in Broward County, one in Collier County or Glades County, and one in Baker County. Baker County is the northeast and near Jacksonville. I can tell you, I've been to those facilities. They are brutal. I had a family member in the Miami-Dade facility. It's hot. It's disgusting. There's roaches and rats everywhere. They are worse than prisons sometimes. So I will tell you from experience, it is not no place to go to. It's interesting they say they have AC, but Buana had brought up a good point, and I'm going to get to that after Kamal goes. Kamal, you're apolitical. Is this needed?
I mean, first of all, ain't nobody gonna be able to fucking train an alligator to charge at somebody. Like this, but this is that's nonsense. But it's performative. We know Donald Trump is a comedian, a showman. You feel me? And this is my thing, though. First of all, what's good with the chat? Is Zach Briggs? That's Doc, right?
Yeah, that's Doc.
All right, Doc is killing me in the chat right now. He got me cracking up. Second, I did want to bring something up, and y'all from Florida, and we talk about gators now and stuff like that. I did a show a couple years ago, and there was a sign, and I love my Florida people, Nora Gray, you feel me? But the sign said, "Don't pet the alligators or molest them." I don't understand.
I knew that we were going for that.
What the hell is going on? Like,
oh my
are they
god!
trying to train the gators or do something else, Diddy style? I don't know. I'm just like, I'm confused. I don't think the
People
gators
trying
want
to
to work
feed
with
them.
y'all.
That's what they're trying to make clear. Like, you may see videos of them walking on the road, and you may think they're friendly, but they're not. Everybody from Florida knows you don't. When you see that sign that says gator, you don't go near there. You know not to mess with. I don't know. I don't mess with gators. Gray, when you see a sign that says gators, what do you do?
They teach us in school to run in zigzags. Yeah,
That's true.
it's also like when we're in school, we already are taught like that this happens with alligators because you can go to like a park and we have like good forests and like walking trails and like bike trails and stuff like that. Alligators are sometimes like in the area, so sometimes it's unavoidable. People pets get ate, so like it's even like a hazard for regular civilians as well as wildlife.
Hold on, King not sure, man. Goddamn, Diddy gators. Come on, bro.
Diddy gators is crazy.
I mean, like they be coming out. That's how they get you, man. They ambush you out of the water, bro. Diddy.
They're
Next
just
thing you
small
know, there's just a
puppies.
giant, 500 gallons of lube or whatever with Diddy. I don't know. Maybe that's how we be getting people, bro. I don't know.
Fun fact:
caught a gator
I went to the
once.
trial, so we're on edge. We've been covering Diddy every day, guys, at 12. So come back tomorrow. We've been covering it out. We're committed at this point. But yeah, I mean, come on. Is there anything else you want to add to it before I go to the next clip? It's about the environment safety.
Yeah, I want to add. Enzo said he caught a fucking gator.
I did. When I was in 8th grade, I caught a gator. I was on my way to school, and me and my buddy saw it on the bank. It was a 4-foot gator. We jumped on it, grabbed it, taped its mouth up, and I put it in my backpack and walked into school with it. True story.
That's metal. Did you get in trouble,
bro? Oh, I got suspended for it.
That's metal, bro.
It was the last week of school. Who cared?
Dude,
like,
what
do you do with a gator? I don't know. It was just sitting there, dude.
Imagine like to bring your pet to like school day, bro. Dude, and you just bring that, dude. That'd be so fucking.
That would be crazy. That was my pet.
Yeah, the whole gator.
You was Steve Irwin that day.
Dude, they're not scary to me. Like, I'm not scared of gators. Snakes, on the other hand, like the boas out there, no. You gonna see me running. A gator all day long. I'll go jump on a gator and catch it all day long.
For the most part, gators. I mean, like gators can attack you like pretty bad. Like I grew up in Georgia, right? And there was a lake, and we had gators by our thing, but like they weren't like a nuisance or anything. The other thing you gotta worry about is crocodiles. Crocodiles, they'll kill you.
No. Exactly. Those scare me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, he said the same thing too. Zach, you and Doc are buddies. He said he caught a gator too.
Y'all out here gator
I don't, Doc. He understands.
Made by Smith and Wesson. That's not what he's saying.
Hold on, I caught
Oh,
Gary took
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I get it. Okay. All
oh,
right, y'all.
okay, yeah.
So
uh,
when I first heard this, my concern was more so for the animals. Okay, and I'm gonna play this clip. Than detaining the people. I'm sorry, it's just how I felt, and I'm gonna explain why after I play the clip. It's about the environment.
Center for Biological Diversity, Elise Bennett, for more on the environmental impact of so-called alligator Alcatraz. Elise, thanks for coming on. I know you oversee the center's conservation work in Florida. So why are you so against this center's location?
Yes, well, we've filed a case to defend America's Everglades from a reckless and frantic attempt to build a mass detention center in the middle of one of our greatest natural treasures. We're incredibly concerned about the impacts of essentially building a new development in the middle of a preserve.
Now, you say the government violated the law by failing to properly analyze the damaging impacts to the environment from the center. So why couldn't you stop this in court?
So we actually do have a pending motion before the court that requests just merely a pause to stop activities so that the court can have an opportunity to review our allegations in the case, and so that no damage is done in the meantime. And so we look forward and are still hopeful that we can get that hearing, get a pause before things get any worse on the site.
Now, the Department of Homeland Security is calling that lawsuit lazy, saying the land has already been developed for a decade. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is also stressing that the center is temporary, located at a pre-existing airport, and he says it'll have no impact on the surrounding environment. What's your response to that?
Those claims are incredibly misleading. If it was already developed, they wouldn't be shipping out trailers, artificial lighting, sanitation, food services, fill material, restrooms. All of those things are things they're having to bring to the site. And that's because it was not well used before they decided to turn it into this immigration detention camp. And those are the exact things that give us such concern about our sensitive wetlands, our Florida panthers, who are already beleaguered by road deaths and will only be more at risk as more vehicles are coming on and off the site. This is a very remote area, and we're very concerned that every step they take to bring more people out there is just another dagger in the heart of the Everglades.
All right, Elise Bennett, we appreciate your time.
So yeah, so those were my concerns. I studied marine biology in middle school and high school. I wanted to be a marine biologist, but I just don't like animals like that. But nevertheless, I studied it. The Everglades are protected. It's the most beautiful thing you will ever see when you go. It is a Florida treasure, and it needs to be protected. So call me a tree hugger. That was my biggest concern. Number one. Number two, Bwana brought up a good point. This is 60 miles out. So what Bwana was saying about the hurricane is, how are we going to safely keep these people safe? Because if it's in the middle of a wetlands, flooding, winds, all sorts of things can happen during hurricanes. So that Bwana brought up a good point with that. Gray, as a Floridian, do you have environmental concerns, or do you think that we shouldn't worry about that?
My question is, like, why couldn't these people just go like a regular jail or a regular prison? Is there like a law against that? Like, why do
Well,
they
I
have
think
to?
there's no room for them. And my thought process was, Enzo brought up a good point. Does the government know something? And I hate to bring up the left and make it about that, but does the government have a significant threat that people are going to start breaking people out of jail? I don't see the need for this. Sorry, keep going though.
I mean, but like, how long is it going to take to build this? To me, I feel like if that is specifically for a migrant detention center and they're really going to deport people, then they're going to build it. They're going to get them, then deport them. Then what are they going to do with that building once they're deported?
Well, it's not if they're being given due process, it's not a fast process. That's the thing. Trump skipped things that needed to be done. I will say that. He skipped the due process, which was the argument that many people make, because it generally takes 6 months to a year to finish out the process, but he was picking people up and sending them back like that. And I think the one guy prevailed from Colombia, but anyways, that's why it's a long process, Gray.
Well, just to wrap up mine, I would just say that the Trump administration isn't really like caring about the environment. They're not like solar energy and all that stuff. So I think we have to protect the environment because of global warming. And if you do something to animals, PETA is going to be on you. So they're going to have to worry about that next.
Oh Lord. Enzo, what do you think? Why did the Trump build this? It's built already. He just toured it. They're about to fill it up
Yeah.
soon.
Um, like when it comes down to the environmental and everything like that, I do agree with you. And I looked up that original land that it was built on and why it was never furthered. It was because of environmental concerns. But then again, environmental concerns because of jets is completely different than aircraft. Because I mean, that's going to scare everything that's around there. The jet taking off. I understand the concerns about, like driving in and driving out and everything like that. That's they're part of the Everglades. I don't know exactly where it is to know if that's paved roads out there because there are parts of the Everglades, like the wetlands, that are paved roads where you can get to certain areas within it. Um, when it comes down to Trump's motivation, it's just performative, honestly. Like I don't realistically think they keep it long term. And then, Gray, I looked it up why ICE can bring migrants to jails and prisons. They don't do it because of the controversies between human rights and conditions, and then blurring the lines between criminal and civil, and then family separation. That's why they don't necessarily do that. I mean, there's plenty of jails in Florida. I mean, you can just bring them out to Opelika and bring them there. That's another jail that's pretty much in the Everglades, right on Lake Okeechobee. Um, I don't necessarily see this being a long-term solution for this. It's more of stock factor. Like we all know, Trump's a showman. He's performative. Ron DeSantis is the same thing. When I watched that first clip, and I go, when did Trump get younger and actually had darker hair? Now I was looking at two of them. The way that they were talking, like that's who I see. I see two Trumps. Just one's more extreme.
Basically.
Yeah. So who really knows? Well, I mean,
Kamal,
we
is this
just got to sit back and
Hmm,
see. So,
exactly. Kamal, is this performative? Why did he do this? Is it
Hell yeah,
needed?
hell yeah, this performative. I don't mind it though. This brings some goddamn excitement to politics. I'm sorry. Like, hey, for real, man. Donald Trump bring excitement to politics. Let's not be fooled, okay? The rest of the presidents, man, Jesus Christ, man. Except for probably Obama. But Obama had a little, pizzazz to him and shit. All the rest of the presidents, what I mean, no pizzazz, no nothing. You feel me? So yes, it's performative, but we should know by now it's Donald Trump. He been performative since the fucking show. You're fired.
Oh, never mind.
The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
come on now. That we know. You feel me? What I didn't know though, that Florida had Panthers and stuff like that. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I missed that
And,
part.
and I will say this. I'm gonna just say allegedly. Nora doesn't like animals because I don't want PETA on you. You feel me? PETA hear any of that line, they're gonna
I'm
be on your ass.
scared of animals. Let me say this. I like them from afar. I
Oh wow.
care about the
Oh,
alligators.
okay.
That's why I'm like, I don't like it because the thing is why we see alligators in our homes, not homes, but in our neighborhoods is because they have nowhere to go. And that's my concern. If you keep taking away their home, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to keep showing up. That's why we see them.
Okay,
In the
that makes
pools
sense.
and stuff in people's yards. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen videos of them being in,
Yeah.
like people's like sewers and stuff too, like hissing at people. Like that's terrifying, bro.
Yeah. Ethan,
Damn.
what's your thoughts? Is it performative? Should we care about the environment?
Yeah, we definitely should care about the environment. One, as a southerner, the environment quite literally is what brings in a lot of our tourism, for example, right? Now, for Florida specifically, I mean, you've got like Tampa, you've got Miami, you've got Orlando, right? And that brings a lot of things in too. But the thing is, the South as a whole, a big part of it is the environmental aspect. So, like, I can speak on like, for example, like South Carolina, we have the Venus flytrap is native to South Carolina, and
Mm.
national parks, and the Everglades. These are all things that need to be protected, because there is value in having these things, right? And you can't get sceneries like Florida necessarily like from other places. Every place, I mean, you can find similar places, right? But like you can't get a place like the Everglades, necessarily, at least not to my knowledge. But is it performative? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's like I'm looking at how much this thing costs. It looks like they allocated 625 million to make it, or maybe it's going to cost 450 million just to host it for 1 year. And it's like, what is is this going to be a long term thing? And I'm thinking probably not. Again, I
Mhm.
need to get more information on this thing. But one of the things that Nora brought up, which was really important, is what happens when a hurricane does hit, and like these places get flooded, or like almost like wiped off the map. And this kind of goes back to that dehumanizing rhetoric that I talked about
Mhm.
before, where it's like, are we going to make sure that these people are safe when disaster hits? It's 60 miles away from, you know, um, like regular land. I don't know the answer to that. How like, and if it's like filled to the brim, like I don't know how big these facilities are, but like how quickly and efficiently are we going to be able to get people off of, you know, harm's way? And
Mhm.
it just kind of makes me think like, oh man, the administration, like, yeah, they're just kind of in it more for like like y'all said, the messaging, the memes, right? Of just like, oh hey, illegals, get them out of here.
Well, I'll
And
say
yeah,
this, Ethan. Trump had a mandate. 75 million people voted for him, and I
yeah.
truly believe they voted for him. And people don't like this. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The number one reason was the immigration. And so I think he feels the pressure. I know from talking to my MAGA friends, they don't like that he's not deporting enough. They feel like he's not performing. It may be too much for the left, but when we look at the numbers, he's gonna be even underperforming even Biden's administration at the end of the 4 years at the rate he's going. So
Mhm.
he has pressure. But anyways, we're gonna move on. Guys, thank you everyone for watching. Please go give everyone a follow. Also, we have to pay some bills. Let me play Grace's favorite clip. So we're gonna move on to the main headline of the night. Candace Owen takes on 20 fierce feminists. So we'll be doing reactions. It's funny, none of the women showed up tonight. Uh, I think Mia's working, and then our buddy Skeptic was running late. I don't know if she's coming, but guys, you're gonna have to hold it down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to answer the questions.
Uh
But here we go. First
oh.
clip of the night. This is talking about women